It is World Hepatitis Day, and spotlight is on raising awareness about the global burden of viral hepatitis and to influence real change. Globally, 354 million persons are currently living with the hepatitis B or C virus. Hepatitis is a viral infection known as a major cause of liver disease, which leads to death if not promptly and properly managed. The World Health Organization says approximately 296 million people were affected in 2019, and 1.5 million new infections are recorded each year.
Millions of people around the world have undiagnosed and untreated hepatitis. Too often, the disease goes undetected until symptoms become serious. We now have better tools than ever to prevent, diagnose, and treat hepatitis. Around the world, WHO is supporting countries to expand the use of those tools to eliminate hepatitis and save lives. We're committed to working with all countries and all partners to realize our shared vision of eliminating viral hepatitis by 2030. Because we have one life, one liver.
Joining me now is the CEO of Talk Health Nigeria, Dr. Laz Odeze. Thank you for joining us on TVC News. We hear about hepatitis A to E, but what really is hepatitis, and what is the difference in these variants?
Thank you very much, Bosede. Hepatitis describes acute inflammation of the liver. And of course, liver is a major organ in the body that plays a variety of roles. It's a virus, and those viruses, like you mentioned, have hepatitis A, hepatitis B, C, D, and E. And just as we bear different names as human beings, so does these viruses are given different names, because they are separate entities within the same family of DNA viruses. But of course, each of them, although they cause hepatitis, but their severity differs, and the way of transmission of these viruses also differ. For instance, hepatitis A, hepatitis D, and hepatitis E, could be gotten through oral transmission, could be picked up, poor hand hygiene, and all of that. But hepatitis B and hepatitis C could be transmitted through blood, body fluid, and hepatitis B could be transmitted through, unprotected sex, and it can also be moved from the pregnant mother to a baby during childbirth. So these different entities, their severity also differs when they get to infect the liver.
All right. So how is hepatitis diagnosed, and what are the symptoms?
Yes, they could be diagnosed through screening, so especially that of hepatitis B and hepatitis C. It's important to mention that hepatitis is described as a silent epidemic, because many of the times someone could be infected without showing any sign or symptom. Hepatitis A and E can also, not be severe enough, and also could just go after showing some symptoms. So what are these symptoms? Just like every other symptom of liver disease, you could have yellowness of the eyes, you could have poor appetite, there could be abdominal swelling when the liver is swollen, especially in acute hepatitis. There could also be some degree of fever, there could be vomiting, and also there could be abdominal swelling or leg swelling if it becomes severe. And in chronic hepatitis, which could happen without any symptom and could lead eventually to liver cirrhosis, where the liver would shrink. And even in some people, it might also lead to liver cancer. In that situation where you have total collapse of liver functions, you could have general swelling, wasting, as well as so many other conditions.
I know that there is a hepatitis B vaccine. Who can receive that, and what are the preventive measures really for this disease?
Yes, a very good question there. Preventive measures for hepatitis begins from birth. At birth, immediately after birth, every child receives hepatitis B vaccine. That's why it's important for women to deliver at a health facility so that they'll be given these vaccines. Because if, for instance, a mother is a carrier, she may not be symptomatic. There is a very high chance, in fact, 9 out of 10 chance that the child could get hepatitis. So with that early vaccination, the child is already getting prepared to deal with it so that it could not pose a problem. And if he's not vaccinated at birth, at least not more than 24 hours, within 24 hours, hepatitis B vaccine should be given. And this same vaccine, although given alone at birth, but it's also part of the pentavalent vaccine, which is given at week 6, week 10, and week 14. And all these vaccines are free of charge for children, already paid by the government of Nigeria, as well as with support from development partners. So besides that, adults can also prevent hepatitis through vaccination as well, especially health workers. Those who work where they have to do with human blood or body fluids and all of that. Morticians, people that work there should also be immunized. So regular hand hygiene can provide hepatitis A and E. Not sharing sharp objects, can also protect from hepatitis B and C. And also not having unprotected sex. Random screening could help one to know that whether you already have it or not. Of course, if one screens positive for hepatitis B, for instance, it could be indicative of an active case where antigens are present, or it could also be indicative of chronic case. So if someone screens positive, it's an indication to do other investigations. So if anybody screens positive, just see a doctor who is going to guide you on next steps to take, because you might need to do liver function tests, you might need to do abdominal ultrasound, and also as well as other investigation. And if necessary, you could be given some treatment. So but these things are
Dr. Daisy, I was going to get to the point of treatment because we've spoken extensively about preventive measures, but should one already have it, especially that chronic hepatitis, can it be cured? What is the way forward?
Well, there's no known cure for hepatitis, especially hepatitis B or C. But of course, there is treatment that could be given. But the decision on treatment is not something that is just a general decision. It's decided on case-by-case basis. Of course, you could do an anti-HBC antibody test to determine whether it's chronic hepatitis. Viral load test is also done to know the level of the virus in the system. A number of parameters are looked at to determine who is due for treatment or not. But it's important to mention that for some persons, even without treatment, the body immune system could get rid of this. But you cannot determine whose body system is going to get rid of it or who will require treatment. So for anybody that is positive, a number of investigations are taken, interpreted, and on case-by-case basis, a decision will be made. So what's important for the public to know is prevention is best, but if for any reason you screen positive, please see a doctor that is going to guide you on the next steps.
It's been so interesting talking to you, CEO Talk Health Nigeria, Dr. Laz Udeze. Thank you for talking to us on TVC News.